taken over to the Sharp Hospital.
Now it's recording. Can you press it once more?
You could do it. I couldn't move faster. Yeah, they're the only ones that.
Officer Jake Sanchez, California Highway Patrol Public Information Officer for the San Diego office.
All right, if you would, just walk us through what happened today.
So about 11:47 in the evening yesterday, we had a white Toyota heading northbound on the 15 just south of Miramar Road. Also had a Mustang, maroon Mustang at a high rate of speed traveling behind them. Rear ends that white Corolla, forcing that white Corolla to hit the center median, come to rest blocking the left-hand lanes of center divider and number 1 lane. The Mustang ended up in a ditch to the right, off the roadway towards the right shoulder. The driver of that Mustang then fled the scene. Shortly after that vehicle that was struck, the white Corolla, came to rest. It was subsequently struck by a gray Ford Explorer. That Ford Explorer was being driven by a off-duty, or actually on-duty San Diego PD detective on his way home. That vehicle then ended up upside down, blocking lanes just north of the white Toyota. 3 parties in that white Toyota. Vehicle subsequently caught fire. The driver and one of the rear passengers were stuck inside the vehicle. Right front passenger, a female, was able to be pulled from the car by witnesses. Unfortunately, the other 2 were not able to be pulled out, and they succumbed to their injuries in that vehicle. The SDPD detective suffered minor to moderate injuries. He was transported to a local hospital to be checked, as well as that female passenger. She suffered major injuries, and she's also being cared for at the hospital currently.
And we noticed, just because this is something that we all saw, we saw some firearms being taken out, as well as a body armor, vest, helmet, that kind of stuff. Are you able to elaborate at all as to how that all works? And obviously that needs to be secured.
As far as for the PD detective, I don't have much on as far as what was pulled from their vehicle, what they did involving that. The other thing, the party that actually caused the crash fled the scene on foot, obviously leaving a scene where people were injured. That is a felony hit and run. On top of that, as he ran towards a residence, San Diego PD area unit was able to track the suspect down. San Diego PD officers in the area were able to detain him before CHP officers arrived on scene, and subsequently arrested him for driving under the influence. So obviously this person was impaired, on top of the fact that fled the scene, leaving these people behind.
Did he sustain any injuries himself?
As far as his injuries, I don't know at this time. I do know that he did flee the scene. As far as the extent of his injuries, I don't have an idea.
We're coming out of a pretty deadly holiday season with a lot of drinking and driving, a lot of deaths on the road. Thoughts on what happened tonight here with the news that this guy was impaired?
It's horrible that we have to come out here and talk about this so often. People have to make the right choices. You have to plan ahead. If you're going to put something in your body that's going to impair your ability to drive, you're going to have to make the appropriate decisions in order to prevent these type of things from happening. Again, there's so many options for you today. It makes no sense why anybody would decide to do this.
And in terms of this closure, obviously this has been quite a big scene. It's going to be closed. It's been closed for a while. Do you have an estimation for the morning?
Right now, no. I say at least a couple hours for a full closure. Hopefully, they're able to get this opened up before commute traffic starts in a few hours. Again, right now, until we can get everything required that we need to get, we're going to have the lanes shut down. So I'm hoping in the next couple hours we'll be able to get this thing, at least some of the lanes open going northbound.
The 2 fatalities now are they children, adults?
Right now, unsure of ages. Unfortunately, because of their injuries, it was, one of the individuals couldn't even tell the sex. So I do know there was a male driver. I'm unsure of the rear passenger. And the female, again, I don't have many details. She was taken from the scene right away. So obviously our officers are getting over to her and trying to get some information from her as well.
And then with that one female, that was the passenger that was pulled out by witnesses, she's taken to the hospital.
Yes, with major injuries.
And just to clarify, she was in the SUV?
No, she was in the white Toyota. So 3 occupants in the white Toyota, San Diego PD detective in the gray Ford Explorer, and a 37-year-old male suspect in the maroon Mustang were the occupants of the vehicles.
Jaclyn, last name is Cuneo.
Okay, and Jacqueline, you were driving?
Yes.
Okay, and so you're coming along northbound, and then what kind of did you see?
Basically, I was behind. Sorry, I was behind the vehicle, like the Mustang, going a good amount of speed, like around 120, and pretty much going in and out of lanes, and he hit I believe it was a Corolla, and then that's went out of control, and then the other car hit the truck, SUV hit the Corolla again, went up in flames, and I saw the lady get out of the car that was on fire, and she was trying to get the 2 other passengers out, and she was unable to do it. So.
Had the Mustang passed you a ways back?
Yes.
So you're coming along?
Yes, at a very, very high speed. So, I mean, I don't know. It's crazy.
So you're driving along, and then the Mustang comes past you super fast?
Yes.
And about how much longer after he passed you did he hit the Corolla?
I want to say about 20 seconds after, so I then definitely slowed down because I knew you got that instinct where you know something is about to happen, and couldn't stop it.
And once he hit the Corolla, it started to spin,
yes.
And then the police officer's car hit it?
Yep, and then the car went up in flames, and...
Let me have you tell me that again, if you would, just to make sure I got it correct. So the car, tell me about what it was like when he first hit the Corolla. What happened?
The Corolla,
It's okay.
The Corolla kept spinning, and then the other car hit the Corolla again, ignited into flames, and that's pretty much it.
And that driver was able to get out of the car.
Yeah, she was kind of hurt, but she had passengers, so she wanted to make sure that they got out, but it was too late. The car went up really quick. So.
Did other motorists stop too?
Yeah, there was a bunch of us that pulled over and stopped. I ran to where the sergeant was, because he was crawling out of the car, and basically everybody on the highway pretty much pulled over, and we did what we could. So.
How did the lady look when the paramedics got here and started to talk to her? I mean, was she able to walk?
I don't know. I wasn't there to see how she was doing. I was trying to, look at the Mustang and see what was going on over there. So it was very chaotic.
Oh my God,
very
it happens
chaotic,
in just a couple of seconds.
Yeah,
right. You got no time to even think. It just happens.
Right.
And as far as the sergeant goes, he crawled out of his car, or he was...
Right. He crawled out, and he was complaining about abdominal pain, and his back was hurt, and he said to me, thank God I'm alive. And I guess he called his wife or whoever, and so he's very lucky, very lucky. I mean, I'm lucky. I think, a lot of us are lucky that we weren't involved in it. So.
Right after it happened, can you just kind of describe the scene? Was there a lot of people running around back and forth?
Yes. Yeah, it was a lot of running around back and forth. A lot of us were trying to help whoever was hurt and basically do what we could. Call cops and whatever, paramedics, so.
But there was just fire.
Yeah. And the fire is the big thing, because, I mean, that car wasn't on fire, I would have helped try to get them out, but, I mean, at that point, you really can't do anything,
You
you
just
know?
went fast.
Yeah.
What part of it caught on fire first? Could you tell, the engine or the back? Or just kinda all went?
It pretty much just all went, yeah. So,
Thanks, Jeff. I'm
You're
sorry
welcome.
you had to see
No,
that
it's-
tonight. It's a terrible thing.
it's okay.
Can we get your name just a little bit?
Jacqueline Cuneo, Jaclyn, last name is Cuneo.